Angelology. Everything you need to know about angels. Angels have captivated the human imagination for centuries. Since ancient times, various cultures and religions have attempted to describe and understand the existence of these spiritual beings, who, according to Judeo-Christian and Islamic traditions, act as intermediaries between the divine and the human. The study that is dedicated to analyzing and systematizing everything related to angels is called angelology. What is angelology? Angelology can be defined as the branch of theology that is responsible for studying angels in a systematic way. This includes their origin, nature, functions, classification, and the role they play both in the divine plan and in their relationship with humanity. Traditionally, it has been developed within the framework of Christian theology, taking as its main basis the Holy Scriptures, the writings of the Fathers of the Church, and the reflections of later theologians. However, its spectrum can be broadened to include other monotheistic traditions, such as Judaism and Islam, which also offer a unique perspective on these spiritual beings. Angelology arises from the need to delve deeper into questions such as, what are angels like? What is their purpose? How do they interact with human beings? This desire for understanding led different authors to compile and present the references to angels found in biblical texts and oral tradition. Later, theologians and philosophers began to organize and systematize this information, giving rise to a much more complex doctrinal body. Nature and characteristics of angels. To understand angels, we must first look at their essential nature. Within Christian theology, angels are considered to be spiritual beings created directly by God. They lack a physical body, although the Bible and other sacred texts often narrate episodes in which angels take on human appearance in order to communicate with people. This ability to appear in a tangible form does not imply that they possess a body permanently, but rather that they assume a physical manifestation when the divine mission so requires. Immortality and holiness. According to tradition, angels, being created by God and not subject to the corruption of matter, enjoy a life that is not limited by death as we humans understand it. They are, therefore, immortal. Their holiness and closeness to the divine are manifested in their obedience and purity. However, Christian tradition itself recognizes the existence of fallen angels, beings who, endowed with free will, chose to oppose God and who become demons. Free will and service to God. One of the fundamental characteristics of angels is their free will, although subject to divine will. This means that they are capable of choosing, but ultimately their actions are destined to fulfill God's plan. Those who chose rebellion, following Lucifer, later known as Satan, broke their union with the divine and turned away from the light. Those who remained faithful, on the other hand, dedicate themselves entirely to serving God and collaborating with Him in the work of guiding and protecting humanity. In this sense, angels are representatives of divine justice and love, symbols of heavenly goodness that act as messengers and bearers of grace. Intellectual and spiritual faculties. Another relevant characteristic of angels is their superior intelligence. Since they are not limited by a physical body, it is understood that their capacity for knowledge and understanding of reality is very high. They see things from above with a broader and deeper focus than humans. Likewise, their will is oriented toward good and their love for God is manifested in constant worship and service. This is reflected in many biblical episodes where angels are seen praising God and fulfilling sacred missions. Angelic hierarchies. One of the most well-known and debated aspects of angelology is the classification of angels into hierarchies or choirs. This classification arises to give order to the plurality of biblical references that describe angels with different names and functions. The most influential systematization is attributed to Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite, a Christian author from the 5th or 6th century, who in his work, The Celestial Hierarchy, established 9 choirs of angels organized into 3 levels or hierarchies. First hierarchy, Seraphim. They are described as the angels closest to the presence of God, enveloped in fire and constantly dedicated to divine worship. Their name comes from the Hebrew seraph, which means to burn. Seraphim symbolize pure and ardent love for God. Cherubim. Traditionally associated with divine wisdom, they appear in the Bible guarding the path to the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. They are considered guardians of the light and the stars, and their name comes from the Hebrew cherub, sometimes interpreted as fullness of knowledge. Thrones. They represent the stability and strength of divine government. They act as the foundation on which God's majesty rests, which is why they are considered symbols of divine justice and authority. According to Pseudo-Dionysius, they are in a state of continuous contemplation of God's glory. Second hierarchy, Dominations. They have the mission of regulating the activities of the lower angels. They are the link between the higher and lower hierarchies, ensuring that God's plans are fulfilled in an orderly manner. Virtues. They are in charge of performing the miracles and wonders that God arranges in the world, facilitating the manifestation of the supernatural. Their name alludes to strength, the divine force that acts in creation. Powers. They are in charge of monitoring and maintaining the order of the universe, fighting against the forces of evil that may threaten that order. Their work is protective, ensuring that creation follows the divine plan. Third hierarchy, Principalities. They supervise groups of angels and are in charge of protecting specific nations and regions. They are considered guardians of peoples and human politics, seeking the common good and peace. Archangels. They are messengers of great importance in the history of salvation. Among them, 3 names stand out, known in the biblical tradition: Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. Each one has a particular mission. Michael, the celestial warrior who fights against the forces of evil. Gabriel, the bearer of divine messages, as in the Annunciation to Mary. Raphael, represented as the angel of healing and guidance. Angels. They correspond to the hierarchy closest to the human being. They are in charge of assisting and protecting each person, known as guardian angels or custodian angels. Traditionally, it is considered that each person has an angel assigned to them that accompanies them throughout their life. Functions of the angels. Angels, far from being static or merely contemplative figures, play an active role in biblical narrative and religious tradition. Their main mission, according to Christian theology, is to serve God and act as His intermediaries with humanity. However, this mission takes on various forms. Messengers of God. The term angel, in Greek, angelos, and Hebrew, malach, means messenger. This function is reflected in biblical episodes such as the Annunciation to the Virgin Mary, Luke chapter 1, verses 26 to 38, when the Archangel Gabriel communicates the divine message that she will be the mother of the Messiah. Angels are also found transmitting instructions, warnings, and revelations in different stories from the Old and New Testament. Protectors of humanity. The figure of the guardian angel is one of the most beloved and popular within Christianity. It is believed that each person has the constant company of an angel who watches over their physical and spiritual safety, inspiring them to do good and protecting them from danger. The Bible mentions that angels guard the faithful, Psalm chapter 91, verses 11 to 12, and watch over the needs of those who trust in God. Spiritual warriors. Not all angels play only messenger or protective roles. Some are also described as warriors who fight the forces of evil. A clear example is the Archangel Michael, who, in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verses 7 to 9, leads the heavenly battle against the dragon, symbol of demonic power. This image of Michael with the sword is emblematic of the spiritual struggle for justice and truth. Worshippers of God. The contemplation and worship of God is another of the essential missions of the angels. Several biblical passages show heavenly choirs praising God and proclaiming His glory, as in the book of Isaiah, chapter 6, verses 1 to 3, where the vision of the seraphim singing is described. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. This work of continuous worship reflects the total dedication of the angels to the Creator. Angels in Scripture and Tradition. The Bible is the main source from which Christian angelology draws. In the Old Testament, angels appear in stories such as the expulsion of Adam and Eve from Eden, where cherubs are placed to protect access to the tree of life. Likewise, in Genesis chapter 19, 2 angels arrive in Sodom to rescue Lot and his family. In the New Testament, the presence of angels is mentioned at key moments in the life of Jesus: at his birth, with the Annunciation to Mary and the shepherds; at his resurrection, with the angels announcing to the women the good news that the tomb is empty; and at his ascension, when heavenly messengers speak to the disciples. Outside the Bible, Christian tradition has drawn on numerous apocryphal writings and reflections of the Fathers of the Church to form its vision of angels. Works such as the Book of Enoch, although not part of the biblical canon, include detailed accounts of angels and fallen angels, thus inspiring popular imagery and later theology. In Judaism, the idea of angels is very present in sacred texts such as the Torah and the Talmud. Angels are recognized as messengers of God who intervene in the history of the Jewish people, guiding and protecting them at critical moments. In Islam, angels are considered beings created from light, subordinate to God and entrusted with different functions. Archangel Gabriel, is the one who reveals the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad, thus confirming his crucial position as a divine messenger in all Abrahamic religions. Conclusion. Angelology is a discipline that invites us to look beyond the merely tangible, delving into the vision of a universe in which the divine approaches the human through intermediaries. By studying the nature, hierarchies, and functions of angels, we can appreciate the theological and cultural richness that has arisen around them. From their role as messengers and protectors to their image as warriors in the cosmic battle against evil, angels occupy a privileged place in religious narrative and in the collective imagination. This study not only offers a theological perspective, but also enriches our understanding of artistic, literary, and popular representations of angels. It also invites reflection on the way in which humanity conceives the sacred and the spiritual, exploring the hope of a benevolent intervention and a divine love that cares for creation. In an increasingly complex and sometimes chaotic world, the figure of the angel reminds us of the possibility of transcendent help and the existence of a spiritual dimension that goes beyond our material limitations. Angelology, therefore, is not reduced to a simple study of winged beings, but constitutes a bridge between the human and the divine, reflecting eternity, justice, and supreme love. Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Give it a like, comment your thoughts, and share this video with your friends and family.